I will say, things have not been looking too good for PlayStation this last week and a half. For major announcements like them ending disc manufacturing in 2028, to minor things like players losing their playtime on their profile's game log. I wanted to take some time to unpack everything that's been going on over at Sony and provide my opinions on what this may look like for them moving forward. Obviously, what everybody's been talking about at the moment is the bombshell they dropped announcing they'll cease disc manufacturing in a couple of years. I already touched on this in my last video, so I won't spend too much time talking about it now, but even after a week since the announcement, it still sucks, man. It hurts that we won't be able to truly own our games. It hurts that we'll lose whatever monetary value tied to the purchases that we'll make in the future. And it hurts because it feels like this was a nail in the coffin for a lot of us holding on to the last bit of what gaming felt like when we were kids. I've long resonated with the fact that every time I went to my local retailers, that magic of walking through gaming aisles is long gone. But we at least still had the option to tangibly own our games, sell the ones we didn't want anymore, or collect and display our favorites in whatever fashion we wanted. But now that's gone too. I'm not one to hate everything I see online because it gets clicks or engagement. I truly feel more optimistic than most. But this is something I couldn't really agree with or support. I'm not oblivious to the fact that this day was gonna come. But like a lot of the creators that I truly admire and respect in the space, I really thought we had at least one more console generation before PlayStation would make this decision. It's been so bad that they're getting bombarded online by the community. They recently posted about their Flex Strike arcade stick on X, and all the replies were about the disdain regarding the disc manufacturing decision. You even had Domino's of all accounts randomly taking shots at PlayStation. Announcing that the PS3 and Vita storefronts will start closing in some regions in August, simultaneously with them killing physical disc, was probably not the best decision in my opinion. Sony's PR team had to have known the major backlash these decisions were going to receive, and can't wrap my head around why these weren't spaced out. These platforms are beloved by many, so it's no surprise why some are upset, regardless of it being 20 years since the PS3 release and 14 for the Vita. They had a case study back in 2021 they could have referenced to help better navigate this whole situation. They tried closing the storefronts then, and were met with so much backlash that they ultimately reversed their decision. Knowing this, it's crazy to me that they thought this would be an appropriate time to do so. This decision is one I refuse to hold against them though, as they tried this 5 years ago, so we all knew this was coming at some point. The platforms had their respective runs, and I can't be upset that they're approaching their final days. Now, what I can get a bit upset about is the issues many of us are having with our game logs. Due to a recent software update, many of us are noticing the glitch that some games are not showing up on our PSN profile's game log. Not only that, it seems that those very games have had their playtimes either reset or deleted altogether. I can tell you this isn't a one-off thing, as a quick research online would provide evidence that a lot of people are having this issue. Now, this isn't affecting our ability to play the games, so it shouldn't seem like a big deal, but to some it is. I can sympathize with the ones that say it is because it's nice being able to display the games you played and how many hours you put in. The game's trophies you've obtained are still there for viewing, but the full PSN profile experience is gone at the moment, with game logs seemingly not presenting accurate info. It's a bigger issue more than it actually is because of Sony's lack of communication. It's been a few weeks and we truly haven't heard from them, nor have been given an ETA on when things can go back to normal. Their recent announcements regarding physical media, legacy storefronts closing, and their lack of communication with their community are all leading to what I believe is Sony's version of what Microsoft went through in 2013 when they unveiled the Xbox One. Microsoft confirming the console would need to connect to the internet once every 24 hours, and this being tied to your account, rendering you unable to share your games or sell them anywhere you wanted, was a heavy blow for Xbox. I lived it in real time. I was a 360 user during that console generation, but me and my friends weren't set on sticking with Xbox. We were waiting to see what was a better console. How bad that unveiling went really solidified our decision. We were left in awe of what Microsoft was trying to do. It left a bad taste in our mouths and ultimately made the decision to all get PS4s. What's going on with Sony now isn't the same thing by any means, nor as drastic, but the public response is right on par with what Microsoft went through. You have people canceling their PlayStation Plus subscriptions, selling their consoles, and publicly declaring they're done with PlayStation. All things we saw back in 2013. But things are different now. At that time, the console war was neck and neck. Now, PlayStation is really on their own. I don't count Nintendo and the Switch 2 as they're in a whole different category with regard to their IPs, community, and audience. Sony doesn't have a similar or direct competitor with regard to the AAA game space. Xbox has long been known for publishing great IPs, and PlayStation has held that crown for so long now. Everybody isn't just going to jump ship the next console generation over to Xbox. For one, Xbox doesn't have enough IPs to really be in competition with PlayStation, and you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of users willing to ditch their catalog they've accumulated over the years. Will there be some people who switched exclusively to Xbox, Nintendo, or even Steam? For sure, but it's not going to be enough to cause a drastic change or have any decisions reversed over at Sony. At least I don't think it'll be enough. The dynamics are so different now compared to how they were in 2013 that it's really hard to really make an educated guess on what the future looks like for Sony. The PS6 will for sure be released. It will for sure be an all-digital console, and it for sure will not sell well initially compared to previous generations. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the worst selling or have horrendous sales numbers, but based on the intense backlash they received this last week, it feels like they're losing all the goodwill they've accumulated since the start of the PS4 generation. I'm hoping they will make some changes so all parties are happy, like selling a disc drive separately alongside the PS6. Anything that would allow physical games to be kept alive for at least one more console generation. Until next time, stay up and play what you like.